Evening, everybody in the YouTube world. This is Strongbow. Tonight I am going to be working on picking this Avis 64 Ti 50, which I've picked open a couple of times now, but I haven't done so on camera. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to ramble about a couple of different subjects. Starting with, let's get this out of the way. If you're one of my old school subscribers from back when I was doing gun talk related videos, and that's the only thing you're interested in, yeah, there's not really going to be too much of that on this channel anymore. I may occasionally do a video, if I do a range trip and happen to take a camera with me, I might do a video on that. But I don't go to the range very often, not nearly as often as I should to train. And this isn't really a gun channel video anymore. The politics and society has gotten weird about guns lately. If you are one of my moto-vlogging subscribers, I know I've said it before, there will be more moto-vlogging. Be patient. But I'm going to just jump in and tell you what I keep promising. I'm going to say, oh, wow. Quickest open I've gotten yet. I was not expecting that. That was less than a minute and a half. Avis 64 Ti 50. Back to what I was saying. Why did I just lock that up? Anyway, back to what I was just saying about the motovlogging. The reason there hasn't been much in the way of motovlogging in the last, it's been about a year and a half now. Most of it's for good reasons. Good reasons in that, there wasn't, anything majorly bad. In August of 2018, my wife and I bought our first house, this house that we're in right now, which was great. Absolutely love our house. But as anybody who's ever bought a house before knows, even when you're in a good financial situation, that changes your finances a bit, and you got to tighten your belt a little bit. I got 2 airplanes passing right now. Sorry, one of my other hobbies, I'm an airplane watcher, and this new house is right on the flight path for Alliance Fort Worth Airport, where FedEx. Okay, and as you can see, the rest of the audio for this video is going to be a voiceover, and the video you actually see in the background here is some footage I shot back in November and never used. I may still use it. I still have a video in mind for this footage. But if you're here for the Locksport, the only thing Locksport left in this video is the video footage you see in the background. There's not going to be anything in the audio, so you can probably just go ahead and stop watching now. I'm just going to be talking about the motovlog stuff relating to my channel at this point. And as I was alluding to in the previous footage before my wife called, August 2018, my wife and I bought a house, which has been absolutely great. But, when you buy a house, all of your spare cash for a while goes into things you need for the house. Just bits of furniture that you need to furnish rooms that didn't exist in your previous house, or you need an extra broom or a vacuum cleaner, that kind of thing. Anybody who's bought a house knows how this goes. But the bigger thing that brought motovlogging to a screeching halt was that 2 days before we signed the closing documents on the house, I got in an accident. I was making a left turn on the bike. I was trying to push myself to make turns a little bit faster, and I did the newbie mistake that, well, I won't say that we've all done, but it's a classic newbie mistake. My eyes were watching where the bike was headed instead of where I wanted it to go, so naturally the bike headed not where I wanted it to go, and I saw myself going straight at that curb, and I grabbed the front brake, and over I went, low-sided. And I'd done that twice before. You'd think I'd learned by now. Well, now I have. I just don't push my speed on my left turns anymore. But I low-sided. I went down, and the bike went down pretty hard. No real new damage because, like I said, I'd already done that twice before, so the bike had already received all the damage it was going to get from a left side low side. Um, but I rolled, um, and thanks to my showy helmet, I still have a head, I still have a face, no head injury of any kind. But at that point, that helmet had been down 3 times. It was time to replace the helmet. But more importantly, I broke my left collarbone, which was a real bummer when you're 2 days away from closing on a house. Luckily, it was on the left side. I'm right-handed, so it didn't interfere with signing my name on the hundreds of documents I had to sign my name on. Uh, Not that it would have anyway. I mean, my use of my hand wasn't really impaired. I just had to, keep it in a sling and so on. So obviously, having broke my collarbone, I couldn't ride for a while, and my wife, who was never real happy about me riding a motorcycle in the first place, she's nervous just in a car. So any loved one riding a motorcycle scares the crap out of her. Made me promise I was going to give up riding the bike, which I did very reluctantly. But about a year later, I convinced her that, this was something that I really loved doing, and she very cautiously agreed to let me start riding the bike again. I hadn't told her I was already doing that, but we won't go there. So she's agreed that I can ride again, and I've been riding now for about 6 months with her knowledge and permission. But as I previously alluded to, having gone down in a helmet that definitely hit the ground, and this was at least the second time that helmet solidly hit the ground. Um, a helmet goes down, you got to replace it, because even if it looks good on the outside, you don't know the state of the EPS foam that actually does the shock absorption. And that was definitely one where I knew if I hadn't been wearing the helmet, I would be dead or in a coma. So that helmet definitely absorbed shock. I had to replace it. That being the case, obviously I have to reinstall my camera and my Bluetooth headset and everything else in a new helmet. I've replaced the helmet. I've gone, because of the budget situation I alluded to earlier, I went from a very nice, showy, I can't remember the model number, but it was a nice, showy helmet, to a more budget Cycle Trader house brand built helmet. It's still a good helmet, but it was, half the price. And part of it is I just haven't gotten around to it. I need to reinstall, as I said, the Bluetooth headset and rearrange the cameras. I finally got the Bluetooth headset installed today. One of the nice things I discovered, which I didn't know about my new helmet, was that not only the cheek pads, but the entire inner liner snaps out. So I was able to, it was real easy to run the wiring for the headset and then just snap it all back together. That was a nice bonus. It was a feature I didn't even know that helmet had when I bought it. And I still need to put on the mounts for the camera. And I've also discovered since then that my SJCAM camera, which was used to shoot all of this footage for both the initial video of me opening that lock and what you see in the background right now, the battery is apparently toast. I can charge it up overnight, and if it sits for a full day, not doing anything, just not even turned on, by the time I pick up the camera to play with it again, the battery's almost completely dead already. So I'm going to need a new battery for the camera. I need to figure out what I did with the microphone that goes into that camera. And then I'm going to have to go through the whole process of figuring out how to position the mics inside my helmet with the appropriate dead cat fluff to muffle wind noise and all that stuff. in order to get decent sound quality, and I don't even know if I can in that helmet. That helmet is noise. Excuse me. That helmet is noisier than my old Shoei helmet, and I never was real happy with the sound quality in the Shoei. So we'll see what happens. I may need to get a new helmet. I may end up getting a new camera because while I love the SJCAM that I've got, it really looks like for moto vlogging or any kind of action vlogging, you really do got to go with a GoPro. As you can see in this footage that you're seeing right now, the lighting looks okay. Still a little grainy. The lights in that room are not real good. They're compact fluorescents that are overhead. But in the previous footage at the start of the video, it was really dark for some reason. I don't know why. I may need to just adjust the camera settings, but it was dark and grainy, and it's never been as sharp as I would like either. So I may need to just invest in a GoPro. And that said, again, I'm going to have to go through the whole process of getting the mics adjusted right. Anyway, so that's what's going on with moto vlogging. I will be resuming the moto vlogging as soon as I get all of those issues ironed out. I might even have some stuff up in the next few days because I've got the Bluetooth headset working now, and I can experiment with seeing how well I can get sound out of that. And so, look for stuff to come soon. And that's the state of the channel. Have a good evening.